So when it comes to value pricing, how do you approach that? I mean, is it a little bit of, what are you worth in a particular market and what is the market willing to bear? And then my other question is, I think if I have this right, that part of what you do for women and other people, that would be men, I guess, is that part of what you're actually doing is helping them understand their value. Um, anyway, so just talk to me a little bit about that. I have some other questions, but I don't want to do everything at once here.
Okay. So I'm going to highlight something you said earlier
Okay.
and something I hear really frequently, which is I need to price for what I'm worth, or I'm not earning what I'm worth. And I reject that concept because I believe that every human has innate value and innate worth. And because of that, when we start talking about I need to price based on what I'm worth, we conflate the value of what you're providing with you as a person or your self-esteem. And I reject that notion. And I don't think your pricing or your value should be based on your self-esteem. I think those have to be two separate things. So, and keep in mind, your self-esteem is the baseline of your identity, whereas pricing can change from day to day. It can change in many different ways. So I want to separate that out for that reason. What I talk about with value-driven pricing is there are three types of value that I focus on. There's extrinsic value. That's what somebody says something is, quote, worth. So out in the marketplace, when you go buy a cell phone, AT&T or Verizon or whoever you're buying your cell phone from puts a price on that. And that's what you have to deal with when you go in to buy retail, right? And that's the extrinsic value. The value to me as the buyer is the intrinsic value. And so that means whether I'm going to choose a really expensive cell phone or one that's middle of the road depends on what I think is important, what features I want, what value I put on that particular cell phone. So those two different types of value is where we start. And then we add a third level to that, which is perceived value. In my case, when I'm helping companies that are service-based, I am advising them that the perceived value can be built. And that value is based on what I, as the buyer, the level to which I believe you can solve my problem. That is the perceived value. So if someone comes to me and is talking to me about my services, I can actively build the value in their mind to help them understand my pricing model. And so it's a very analytical process where I teach people not only to understand the value of the services they're providing, it's really about the value of the outcomes. So to your point a moment ago, when you said saving time, that's tremendously valuable, especially to business owners. Everyone wants to save time. We want to be efficient and we want to be effective. So if I can teach you how to put value-driven pricing to work in your business, I have just saved you all the years it took me to develop this program.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to streamline it for you. And so that is tremendous value, and the return on your investment is going to be quick. So most of my clients that implement value-driven pricing, they start bringing in more revenue almost immediately. And so then your return on investment makes sense, and it happens very quickly.